Good morning. Good morning. We're excited to be here today. Well, some are more excited than others. We might have last week. Everybody was fighting over making sure they were in the camera screen so that they were visible. And today, for some reason, nobody wanted to be part of the video except for my little helper. She's very excited to be here. So I'm glad you're here too. Can we see a smile? No smiles this morning. You know, it's a little bit cloudy, a little bit rainy. We mentioned we're on YouTube. Yeah, we are actually. So we're doing our normal Facebook Live, and some people have been asking about when their videos are going to be up on my YouTube channel, so they can share them with friends who aren't Facebook friends. And we have been having ridiculous technical difficulties getting them up. So this morning we're trying something new, and on the computer directly in front of me, I'm on Facebook Live, and on the Chromebook right to the right of that, I'm on YouTube Live. So we'll see how that goes. But that way, people who don't have Facebook could hopefully join us on YouTube or watch them later. So glad you guys are joining us. I'm excited for our artist today. She's kind of a hero of mine because, yeah, there are people here. Look, it says 3. Lucy likes to watch the numbers of people as they join and see who's coming and stuff. So say hi when you join. We'd love to say hi back and see who's here with us. So our artist today, like I was starting to say, is kind of a hero of mine because she was a mom artist, is a mom artist. Actually, really cool thing about our artist today is she's still alive, which is so cool because we usually talk about old dead artists. But this one's still alive, still working, still awesome. She is a painter. I don't have a ton of images to show you. I have one, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about her first, see if you can guess who she is. So she is a painter, but she also works in mixed media, meaning she doesn't use just one kind of coloring supply or media. She doesn't just use paint. She often paints on fabric and ended up deciding that her art would be best on quilts. So she has, yep. Lots of old dead artists, but this one's not old and dead. So, well, she is kind of getting old, but she's not dead, which is exciting. And so the art she's most famous for are actually her quilts, and she tells stories through her art, which is really exciting. And she actually uses her art to also help. She's been a civil rights activist and a women's rights activist for many, many years, and she uses her art to talk about those issues as well. This is an example of her art, one of her quilts, called Tar Beach, which she then made into a book. And not only is she an artist, she's also a writer and does many, many other things. So here, example of Tar Beach. Anybody know who her artist is? She was born in 1930. She's African-American, born in New York. Yes, Diana said something. Our artist is Faith Ringgold. Here she is. My drawing's not very good of her today. I apologize to Faith. As I said, born in 1930. So she's still alive. How old is she today? Luckily, she was born on a nice even year. It makes it easier to do the math, right? Born in 1930. How old is she today? Yes, Lou? Lucy, you want to say hi back to Diana? She said hi. She was the one that taught you to do clay. Math, anybody? Born in 1930. How old is she today? You can type in your answer if you have an answer. Still alive, like I said, born in New York. Has lived most of her life in New York, if not all of it. I'm actually not 100% certain about that. Like I said, she's a civil rights activist and a women's rights activist. Just a wonderful person. I mentioned that she's a mom and an artist and does all these amazing, amazing things. That's why she's one of my heroes. I love seeing mom artists succeed at their dreams and their passions while also raising their kids. I think she's super, super cool. So she wrote this book based off of one of her quilts. I remember her quilts are her main form of art these days. And I'm going to read the book to you. It's called Tar Beach. And my two helpers here are working on their projects so that we can show you the different parts of the project instead of just having to only show you the beginning of it. Okay, I will always remember when the stars fell down around me and lifted me up above the George Washington Bridge. And the paintings in this are based off of the quilt she did, but she actually did new ones for the book to make it work more. And the writing, and I'll show you again, the quilt, the original piece of art, there's writing on it and around it. And that writing formed the text for the book, which is very cool. Remember I said she's an artist and an author. I could see our tiny rooftop with Mommy and Daddy and Mr. and Mrs. Honey, our next door neighbors, still playing cards as if nothing was going on. And BB, my baby brother, lying real still on the mattress, just like I told him to. His eyes like huge floodlights tracking me through the sky. Aren't those illustrations so fun? I love them. Sleeping on Tar Beach was magical. Lying on the roof in the night with stars and skyscraper buildings all around me made me feel rich, like I owned all that I could see. The bridge was my most prized possession. Daddy said that the George Washington Bridge is the longest and most beautiful bridge in the world, and that it opened in 1931 on the very day I was born. I have that she was born in 1930, but the book says she was born in 1931. Well, one of the two. Daddy worked on that bridge, hoisting cables. Since then, I've wanted that bridge to be mine. Now I have claimed it. All I had to do was fly over it for it to be mine forever. I actually don't have the mic on.
That's okay, because we have two computers.
Okay. I can wear it like a giant diamond necklace. Can you imagine wearing a bridge like a giant diamond necklace? No. Or just fly above it and marvel at its sparkling beauty. I can fly. Yes, fly. Cassie Louise Lightfoot, only 8 years old and in the 3rd grade, and I can fly. That means I am free to go wherever I want for the rest of my life. Daddy took me to see the new Union building he is working on. He can walk on steel girders high up in the sky and not fall. They call him the cat.
Everywhere says 1930 except that book.
All right. So everywhere online says she was born in 1930 except the book she wrote, which says she was born in 1931. I think we're going to trust the book for now since she wrote it. But still, he can't join the Union because Grandpa wasn't a member. Well, Daddy is going to own that building because I'm going to fly over it and give it to him. Then it won't matter that he's not in their old union or whether he's colored or a half-breed Indian like they say. Remember I said her art deals with civil rights issues, talking about discrimination and freedoms that some people enjoy and others don't. And she addresses these issues in her art.
The bridge was completed on her first birthday.
What?
The bridge was completed on her first birthday.
Oh, okay. So on the day she was born, but a year ago. So the bridge was completed on her first birthday. She was born in 1930. I know this isn't really that important of a detail, but, at least we've got it figured out now. All right. He'll be rich and won't have to stand on 24-store-high girders and look down. He can look at his building going up. And Mommy won't cry all winter when he goes to look for work and doesn't come home. And Mommy can laugh and sleep late like Mrs. Honey, and we can have ice cream every night for dessert. By the way, she calls them Mr. and Mrs. Honey because they call each other Honey. Honey, can you get this for me? Honey, can you do that? I love that. Next, I'm going to fly over the ice cream factory just to make sure we do. Would you want to own an ice cream factory?
Yes.
Tonight, we're going up to Tar Beach. Mommy is roasting peanuts and frying chicken, and Daddy will bring home a watermelon. Mr. and Mrs. Honey will bring the beer and their old green card table. And then the stars will fall around me, and I will fly to the Union building. I'll take BB with me. He has threatened to tell Mommy and Daddy if I leave him behind. I have told him it's very easy. Anyone can fly. All you need is somewhere to go that you can't get to any other way. The next thing you know, you're flying among the stars. Apparently, you don't even need pixie dust. Do you wish you could fly? I wish I could fly. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Especially during quarantine.
Yeah, especially during quarantine. You wouldn't have to get within 6 feet of anyone. You could just fly. There's lots of space up there in the air, right? So here again is her original quilt. Look at all those details. And the painting she does on the fabric and then the sewing together.
You can fly. You can do airplane whenever your siblings ask them to. Then when they do it to you, they'll say you're not heavy at all because
you're just flying away. Yep. Awesome. So again, for those of you that just joined us, our artist is Faith Ringgold. She's a painter, writer, civil rights activist, women's rights activist, also does performance art. She's really awesome. One of my heroes because she's a mom that's raised 2 kids and also done all this incredible art stuff. And most of the art she's famous for are her quilts. And we just read this story, Tar Beach, because she tells stories in her art, which is really, really neat. We did see in that she has words on it, but you hardly even need the words because you see so much in her picture. She tells so much of her story in her picture. So any questions about our artist, Faith Ringgold? There she is.
No.
Any questions?
No.
No? No questions? Any questions? If you have any questions, go ahead and type them in. So our project today is to do kind of a paper quilt. And since Faith, or actually not Faith, so this isn't an autobiography. She wrote it it's a fictional story about a young girl named Cassie. And Cassie said that if you can fly over it, then it's yours. Like the pitch that she said was hers because she just flew over it. All I had to do was fly over it for it to be mine forever. So I want you to think for a second. Hold on, I got a question from Diana. I'll talk to you later, Diana, okay? Sorry, lost my train of thought.
Fly over, it's yours.
Okay, if you fly over it, it's yours. So I want you to think for a second, and what is one of your favorite places that you wish was yours so you could go in there all the time? What is a place that you love? What's a place that you love, Lou?
Reading.
You're reading that. Yeah, but what's a place that you love?
Disneyland.
Lou loves Disneyland. Do you love... Yeah, a lot of coincidence. Unicorn Land. Okay. Do you love the beach or do you love a mountain? Do you love a bridge like Cassie? Do you love Hawaii? Do you wish you could go there anytime you want? Do you love the Children's Museum? Wish that you could go there anytime you had the chance? What's another place? Jel, what's a place you love that you wish you... The beach. Jel loves the beach. Newport in particular, though I think she liked Hawaii a lot too. Oh, Harry Potter Land? What's a place?
Unicorn Land.
No problem. Unicorn Land. Yeah, do you like to ski? Would you pick a ski resort that you could just fly over that ski resort and own it? So you could go skiing or snowshoeing or sledding anytime you want. You'd have to make sure that there was an eternal snow going on. You might need Elsa's help so that you could always ski on it. So what we're going to do for our art project is we're going to draw a picture of you flying over one of these favorite places that you would like to own. So Grace has gotten started on hers. So she is flying over where?
You can read it.
I know, but can you tell me?
Disney.
Disneyland. She is flying over Disneyland so that she can own it and she can go anytime she wants. So that's our first step.
Harry Potter Land in it.
Harry Potter Land. So you just need a piece of paper and a pencil and whatever coloring supplies you want to use. Or you could go with a dark piece of paper and use pastels or oil pastels, which is kind of a nice look, making it seem like it's night, like when Cassie was flying over. So I'm going to do that real quick on the black piece. Can I help her tilt the screen down just a little bit? One thing that I did not get the chance to tell Grace before she started, and we'll make it work anyway, is try to leave a little bit of a border around the edge because we are going to add quilt pieces to it. If you don't have construction paper and don't want to cut out a ton of little squares, have another option. Get a ruler out, and trace, or not a ruler, either way. I'm actually just going along, making it the width of my ruler. But our table's a little bumpy. And go ahead and do the, stop shaking the table. Lucy, please stop. go ahead and make a border around the edge. And we'll go back in and make those into little square pieces. Hold on, please. Little square pieces. Yeah, all the way across. And in each square, you could color a different pattern and make it look like a quilt, even though you've just colored all the pieces on there. So if you're using white, that's one thing you can do, but you also could cut out little squares that we can then glue on. Actually, one time when I did this art project in school, I cut out little fabric squares, which the kids thought was really, really cool. And we glued the fabric squares on there, and the older kids actually embroidered, just kind of stitched them together before gluing them on, which made it even more like a quilt. So either draw your squares on or go ahead and cut out little squares. If you have like fun patterned paper, scrapbooking paper or something, you can cut out that and you already have your patterns. No problem. Lou has been over here working at adding patterns. Oh, you added it to both sides. Okay. She's an overachiever. You can go ahead and make your little squares patterned and then glue them on. But we want this to end up looking like a quilt. So it's going to have kind of a quilty looking border. Yeah, absolutely. Got all these squares here. And since Grace didn't know that ahead of time and she colored right to the edge, instead of gluing them on, we're going to glue them or tape them just right behind the page so that we see most of them sticking out. It's just kind of the seam allowance like that. And it'll be super, super cool. And if you don't have glue, like us, we can never find glue in our house. I don't know where all the glue goes to. Somebody's hoarding it in a dresser drawer or something somewhere. Because I buy glue and it just disappears. Also, obviously, could use tape. Trying to make sure that you can do these art projects with whatever supplies you have at home so you don't have to go out at all to get anything. So if you did it on white, works like that. But if you want to try it on a dark piece of paper, like Lou's going to be working on a dark blue piece of paper here, and I'm going to do a black one. So it's like totally at night. If you have oil pastels, this works, or other kinds of pastels. So I'm going to go ahead and draw myself flying over the sky or in the sky. What should I be flying over? What's a place I really, really love?
Unicorn Land.
I've never been to Unicorn Land.
Beach.
But I've got curly hair.
You have going to your mom's house.
I do love going to my mom's house. That was a good idea, Grace. I love going to mountains. So I am going to, those ones aren't as good as the other oil pastels. They're not as bright. We have this giant box of oil pastels that were all broken into little pieces because I have taught art in so many different places, but never in an official classroom where the supplies just stay there. So I have lots and lots of supplies of art. So there I have myself flying. I've left room for a border along the top, and I am going to be flying over a mountain because I love mountains. I just need a white. Where's a white? Nice snowy mountain. I had to fly nice and high to get over the top of it. And I've got lots of trees down below it.
Or on it.
Or on it, yeah. Some trees on it, of course. Don't. But
And you can ski on it.
I can ski on my mountain, but I'm going to make sure not ski into the trees, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be bad. We got to wear our helmets when we're skiing and be safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the really cool things about art, right now we're all stuck at home, quarantined. One of the awesome things about art is you can almost travel through art. In doing your art, you can imagine, just a second, you can imagine that you're someplace that you love. You can imagine you're out on the mountain or you're flying over the mountains. As you look at art, you can remember being there or how wonderful it feels as you're looking at a painting of an ocean. You can just close your eyes and pretend you're there, or your mountains. I've actually been doing a lot of mountain paintings, and each day when I sit down to do my mountain paintings, I remember being there at that mountain, and it's really fun. Since we're stuck at home, you can travel through your art while you're actually staying home to help protect other people. So our project, quick review, we're drawing ourselves flying over a place we love so we can make it our own, just like Cassie in our story Tar Beach that we read by artist Faith Ringgold. because she flew over the bridge, remember? And that's all she had to do to make it hers. I have claimed it. All I had to do was fly over it for it to be mine forever. So you're thinking of a place that you love, that you wish was yours so that you could go there every day or anytime you wanted, and you're drawing yourself flying over it. And then we're adding details we're adding squares around it to make it look like a quilt, like our artist Faith Ringgold. So at this point, I'll probably add a few more details and stuff, but now I'm ready to go ahead and add my squares along the side. And since we don't have glue, I just have this tape.
But we have glue.
Yeah, we have glue, but like I said, it is in some mysterious corner of the house somewhere. So I'm just going to go ahead and put my tape like that. And then I can just stick my squares right on my tape. Boom. Try and do a pattern with your squares. And, you know, I talked about drawing designs on each square. You don't have to. You could just do a pattern with the colors. They could all be plain. And try and, you know, a hard part about quilting is that you have to line up your squares the right way. So try to do your best to line them up. And there we're going to go. We're just going to keep going. Red, blue, orange, all the way around. But I won't do the whole thing here because that would get kind of boring for you to watch. But remember, also, you can add the patterns to them like Lou's been doing. She said, "Oh, Mom, pattern on everyone. This is going to take forever." And she might need some, you know, reinforcements here. We might have to go get a drink of water before finishing this project, huh? All right, what's the question? Oh, yes, I see that. No problem. All right, any questions about our project or about our artist, Faith Ringgold? No. Lou doesn't have a question. Any of you guys have a question? All right. Well, I'm going to help my kiddos finish their projects and we'll post them. And I would love to see what you guys are doing. If you guys do this project, please share it. Post it in the comments. It'd be awesome. And tomorrow, what do you need? I forgot to think about who our artist is tomorrow.
Maybe they'll have to guess.
Maybe they'll have to guess. They'll definitely have to guess. You know what? We are going to do a watercolor tomorrow. So if you have watercolors, have your watercolors ready with a piece of paper, preferably a harder piece of paper than just computer paper. If you don't have watercolors, that's okay. I will have an option for you if you don't have any watercolors, kind of an alternative project. But you can still watch and have fun with the project along with us. Just have your paper and pencil and crayons or whatever else out and ready. If you do have watercolors, have your watercolors and your water and your paintbrush and your thicker paper out. Be awesome. And well, thanks for joining us, Nadine. I'm glad you did. Glad that you guys are here. Hope you're doing okay. Hope you're staying safe. Our daughter, Mary, is actually super sick. Just found out she had pneumonia yesterday. So we are glad that we've been staying home and that we haven't exposed anybody else to anything and that she hasn't been exposed to anything more as she's so sick. So we are staying home, trying to get her healthy, trying to not go crazy by doing art projects like this, and hope you guys are doing well too. So happy arting. I just